Hello Stampers, this is super awesome stamper Shirley Merker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Wisconsin, USA. In this video, I will show you how to create this fun insert for our printed gusseted bags. This video is part of our vlog hop for November 2021, which features gift wrapping options. So let's get started. First, cut your cinnamon cider cardstock. It measures 3 by 11 inches or 7.4 by 28 centimeters. And then need to do some scoring to make it fit into the gusseted bags. So the scoring is at 1 inch, 8 inches, and 9.5 inches, or the centimeters is 2.5 by 20.4 by 24.3 centimeters. I'm going to bring the bag back in. So our first step before we do folding on our score lines is to stamp the Happy Holidays. So look for your 1 inch score line. That's a 2.5 centimeter score line. And flip it over so that you've got that little strip right there. Now I am using the Real Red ink pad and the Happy Holidays from the Frosted Gingerbread stamp set. And I'm going to stamp it towards the top, giving firm pressure. And we got good ink to paper transfer. All right, next step is to look for your score lines and grab your bone folder and just press on all those score lines to crisp that up. Now I'm going to give you a tip. If you've got different printed gusseted bags, you are going to have to figure out the width of your gusset at the bottom. So just form up your bag as best you can and lay your ruler over it, and it looks like the width from point to point on the edges there is about 1.5 inches for me. So that's just how I figured out how to make this the width of the bottom piece that everything will sit on. Okay, all right. So next up, I'll bring in my supplies. And I've got a little quilt theme going. So this pattern paper measures 6 by 6 inches. And I'll show it to you in the catalog. So it's on page 9, part of the Gingerbread and Peppermint suite in the fall catalog. So it comes with all of these prints, so it's double-sided paper, but it's all 6 by 6 inch. So when you cut it down for making cards, you get a lot of scraps left over. And I happen to I was collecting a pile of a 1 inch scraps, 1 inch square. So I thought that would be a perfect opportunity to do the quilted look. So what I did was, now if you're in metric, it'll be about 2.5 centimeters square. There's that right there. Let me see if I can put my tape there so you can see what I'm doing. So I tried to do a quilted look where the squares were kind of crazy. I didn't like that. I think partly because this pattern is so busy that you need a symmetrical looking square. So this backer sheet is just a 3 by 3 inch piece of the Designer Series backer sheet that comes in each of our packages. So perfectly sized, the 6 by 6 size has one backer sheet, so you could make 4 cards out of that backer sheet. All right, and then I just started to layer up. Did I like the brown, the cinnamon cider up, or the red up? And I decided that I liked the brown in the corners because I was going to accent a brown image that I cut from the same pattern paper. So I just started on one side and added some of the liquid glue, and then lined up the edge of the pattern paper with the edge of my square. Again, this is a 3 inch square, which is about 7.4 centimeters square. And then red, butting up the pattern paper and lining it up to the edge right there. And then take another brown one and lining up the edge right there. The corners and the top. Now there's a lot of white in this pattern, so it actually works really well, because if you don't get your edges of the pattern paper quite where you need it, there's white showing through, but there's also white on the pattern paper, so it's a very forgiving quilt square. So butt it up to the edge, and then I did another red in the center because I wanted the cinnamon cider of that focal point image to pop through. And again, you can see I don't have it quite matching, but it still works because we've got quite a bit of white in that pattern. Oops, oops, oh, I'm talking. This one goes over here. Got to have that symmetrical pattern. All right, let me put a little bit more glue there. A red one. So this technique works when you have your scrap pile piling up with little pieces. Look to your quilting friends, quilting patterns, to figure out how you can use up all the little scraps to make an interesting background. And then give this card to somebody who quilts. They would love to receive a card or a small little gift package with a quilting theme. Now, if you have any overhang, you can certainly use the paper snips and cut it off. I think I will actually, because we need to line this up at the bottom. And certainly you might have a little bit of the pattern paper overhang, or you might have some of that white overhang. Now I'm going to point out one thing to note. If you do use the Designer Series backer sheets, make sure you cover up the print side. So on the back of the Designer Series paper backer sheets, there's the item number and also the description, the color codes and all that. I didn't do that, and I thought I was going to put this on a card, but I might put something else there. I certainly could grab another strip of something and do that to pretty it up and cover it up. You know, I think I might just do that right now so I don't forget. So this was another scrap from the pattern paper pack that I had after cutting out all of these little trees. Flip it over. There, so we make the back side as pretty as the front. Okay, all right, so next step is to attach this to our card front. Now, I set it like this, but you can see what's wrong with the pattern. We don't want, well, I personally don't want vertical stripes, vertical lines. I want horizontal lines. So like that. Just put some green glue on there. The green glue will allow you to move your square into place. So butting up the bottom of the cinnamon cider with the bottom of the pattern there. You can even set it on your table if you want. That'll help. All right. Next up, you need to select which image you are going to cut from your pattern paper. Now, if you didn't get the pattern paper, if you're doing something else, and or you ran out of your pattern paper, we do have a coordinating stamp set. So you can certainly stamp these 3 images and cut them out with the coordinating die cuts. So you can make as many little gusseted inserts as you'd like. All right, I'm going to pop this up on some dimensionals. Got my minis right here. And if you take a closer look at my bell, I have a little pearl at the top. For the tree, I'm going to add one of our champagne rhinestones instead. Champagne rhinestones right here. This is what I have left of my champagne rhinestones. You get way more in a package, but as I use them up, I cut them down. It's just easier for me to handle. There, so a little bit of glitz on top of the tree. You know what? I might like a little bit of glitz all around the tree. Let's do all the points. Oh, that really sets it out. Sets it apart. Brings it up a little bit. Brings the wow factor into the project. Okay. All right, last thing is, in that Gingerbread and Peppermint Designer Series paper pack, there is a pattern that are all these mini shapes. So cut some mini shapes to coordinate, and I chose to do the brown ones since we've got a brown tree and a brown bell. This one's got a little bit of green in it, but I'm totally okay with that. Use your liquid glue or some other adhesive. Only put some glue at the top though, because that snowflake is going to hang over, and we don't want to glue our flap down, unless you want your flap glued down, but I want it up a little bit. All right, so let's tuck it into our bags and see what it looks like. So please note, your bags that you get from Stampin' Up! Will not be as crinkly as mine. These I just used for my display and videos, so they're getting pretty worn looking. This one's not quite as worn looking. Put them in there. And you set something in there. And let's set the green glue in there so you can see how it stands up, just like that. So about the width of the green glue, a little bit more is what you can put in there. And then at the top, you can leave the top open, or after you tuck your treat in there, you can fold these sides in, fold it over. You can tape it down, or grab a staple and staple it shut. You can also use our tear and tape to secure this down as well, or some glue dots on the back, however you'd like to secure it, whichever way works for you. Let's do a mini catalog tour so I can show you where I got the products I used in my project. So the July to December mini catalog, page 8 and 9, is the Gingerbread and Peppermint suite. So again, here's all the pattern papers. Here's the pattern that I used to decorate the top flap. Here's the 6x6 sheet. So you get a lot of little images that you can certainly cut apart and decorate your projects with. And then I just want to show you real quick. Here are the 6x6 sheets, not all of them, but you can fussy cut them out. You can also use your die cut, the die coordinating die set to cut those out as well. All right, so I just used from this page the pattern paper, and I purchased the Cinnamon Cider coordinating cardstock. From the annual catalog, number 9 on page 137 are the printed gusseted cellophane bags. You get 25 bags in a package. And then on our embellishment pages, I used number 7 on page 142, the Champagne Rhinestone Basic Jewels, and also the Pearl Basic Jewels. And that's it, my quick project. You can make 25 cellophane bags per package, and there are certainly plenty of designer series paper options in a package as well to decorate all 25 bags. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy our vlog hop featuring gift wrapping this time. Make sure you click the subscribe button so you're notified when I load new videos to my YouTube channel. Thanks for stamping with us today, and we'll stamp with you soon. Bye.